Hello, I'm Guy Chiswick from Webloyalty. I'm here today to talk about how retailers can understand customers better. Hello, good afternoon everyone. Hope you can hear me okay and see me. I can't see you too well because there's an incredibly bright light shining right at me, but I will soldier on. So, I'm going to talk for about 20 minutes. There are sort of three parts to what I'll talk about. One is a bunch of insights. A lot of it is led by ourselves from the research we compiled with our research partner Conlamino. A bunch of other stuff from presentations I've seen recently and also sort of just industry insight. There's a whole bunch of real life examples that sort of demonstrate best practice, in my opinion, and then there's opportunity for questions at the end. So yes, if you save them up till then, that would be great. So, as you all know, retail has changed dramatically in the, well, certainly in the last century, but certainly in the last 10 years, it's morphed into something completely different. If you think back to the beginning of the century, you'd go to your local shop, you would go there to get everything you needed, they'd provide credit, they'd deliver to your house, they'd know who you were, and they could get stuff in if you didn't have it, you could buy off the shelf. It was all there in one store that worked exclusive for you. If you now fast forward to where we are now, and Apple is probably the extreme example, Apple in many ways isn't a store. You don't necessarily buy stuff there. You go there to hang out. You go there to check your Hotmail. You go there to browse the products and to look at them and just sort of experience an amazing showroom that's completely different. You don't even pay at the till anymore. You have people come over and take your payment from you. So again, retail has changed fundamentally. And here we go. And if we look at it in terms of different sectors, if you think of the car industry, the car industry used to go down to sort of an half a daily type character in your local neighborhoods. You'd look at the cars you had on offer, you'd buy something that worked for you. If we fast forward to where we are now, and look at eBay Mobile, eBay now sell a car every minute on mobile. If you look at it in terms of products, they're selling an item every second through their mobile app. So again, completely tipping the sector on its head in terms of how you'll actually sort of browse, experience and buy. So what is it? Sorry, the clicker isn't working. There we go. And in terms of the consumer, so again, thinking back to the original slide, the traditional shopper, even 10, 20 years ago, would go to their local area to do their shopping. If you look at it now, we've had online, we've had multi-channel, we've now got social and everything else that sort of comes in there. So the fact is now the consumer does what they want, when they want and how they want. And it's the retailers who are able to provide that who will be the most successful. If you look at it in terms of the channels that people use, the store at the top there, there's still 92% of people using physical stores as part of their purchasing process. But again, if you look at the internet sites, 85% there, 95% people using online shops, and then mobile at the bottom, 52% of people using mobile e-commerce. And again, this slide is about 12 months out of date. It's a piece of research we did with Verdict last year. But again, it's still pretty much there in terms of the percentages. So, customers are shopping where they want, how they want, when they want, and they're using more channels than ever before. And if you're a retailer, it's a nightmare because you're having to track people through this incredibly personalized journey. I wouldn't expect you to follow this, but the reality is this is how it looks. If you're a retailer and you've got a store, you've got an online site, and you're trying to track people as they begin the search process, as they then review, as they go somewhere else to compare, as they then view the products in a store, as they then go off to then reserve. They might be reserving online, they might be reserving by mobile because they happen to be in the area, and then they'll go and buy it. And then once they bought it, they might need to return it. And so they're returning it through the post or just turning it back to your store. So again, personalization is key, and this makes it incredibly difficult for retailers because you're having to track people across all of these different channels. Again, we touched on mobile before, but the big driver, recent years, but certainly going forward, is mobile, and specifically smartphones. So there are now more phones in the UK than people. According to Ofcom, there are 62 million phones in the UK. So it's about 1.88 phones for every man, woman and child. Add to this the fact that 40% of adults now have smartphones, and if you fast forward to 2014, the forecast is that 90% of adults will have smartphones. And again, what that brings in terms of technology and usability. Add to this the fact there are now about 6 million tablets in the UK, 76% of adults have broadband in their home, and again, 72% of people have used mobile as part of their shopping experience. So again, mobile is the central piece of the whole sort of the multi-channel piece, and it's the key whether you're a retailer just has a high street store, or if you have a high street and online store, if you have a mobile site as well. People will be using mobile to find your store if you're there, or to actually purchase products on it, or to reserve, and so on and so forth. So mobile is the the key part that will change things. Can move on, please. And if you look at media time, so again, this is from eMarketer, a recent study they did. So mobile is rapidly catching up with TV in terms of time spent in terms of media usage. So this is internet users, the bulk of their time is still spent with TV, but not far behind is mobile. And this is all media. So this isn't just shopping, but this is how people are using it to again, read the news, to search, to reserve, to buy, and so on and so forth. So again, critical part. And if you look at it in terms of multi-channel, the reason why mobile is so crucial is it leans to all of the different parts of multi-channel, be that researching, comparing, checking availability, locating if a product is there, clicking and collecting, and so on and so forth. So again, mobile is central to it. We talked about channels before. Again, if you look at its recent piece of research we did on home retail. So within the home retail sector, in the last 10 years, the average shopper has gone from using 3 channels, only 10% of people 10 years ago, to in 2012, 40% of people who were purchasing within the home retail sector were using at least 3 channels. So again, a 4-fold increase in 10 years. And you can only expect that this will sort of go beyond there to sort of 4, 5, and so on. But mobile is one of the key channels within there because of all the things we just talked about. Can we move on? Here we go. So looked at in terms of the importance of mobile within the process. The other part of the process is actually the purchasing process itself. So how long did it take to go from thinking about you want a product to actually purchasing of the product? So again, this is from our recent home retail study that we did. 2012, the average duration of the purchase process from browsing to collection was 5.2 days, with 201 minutes spent on purchasing. If you fast forward that 10 years, because people are using more channels now and they're checking in more places and they're looking at reviews and they're using